Hello, welcome to Starling Acres YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Violet. We run our goats and our animals here in Alberta, Canada, where it has gotten very cold. So I wanted to give you an update today. We've got a lot of projects on the go right now. In our garage, 3 bags of raw wool. One of my winter projects will be to stuff the cavities in this wall and this wall here behind me, so it is warm and cozy for my kids when they're shooting hockey pucks during the winter. This past week, I moved the cows to the back. They are bunking with Yama. Okay, you come with me? Yummy, yummy. Okay, here we go. Yummy, yummy. And the goaties, the pregnant herd. I've had to move these wethers in with the bucks because they were escaping. We have kidding season upon us starting in the next 2 weeks. And here are my milk does. In the corner there's Frosting and Dottie. Those should be the only 2 girls that are bred in this pen. And I just want to show you where the barn is at real quick. So the ceiling has the spray foam. The walls are about a quarter complete with insulation. We still need to finish the OSB to secure it, but it is warm and we do have a nice heater in here. So if the barn doesn't get finished, that's okay. We can just take the tools out and it'll be warm and ready for kidding. Come on, let's go, Dottie. There's 5 does in milking right now, and there's 2 pregnant does in this pen. And then there's 5 does in this main pen here that are kidding out. And I think there's 4 in here that were bred later. Okay, so the Nubian, Tilly, I'm pretty confident she has not been bred. And I've got the little Buckling Friday in there. The cows have joined this main crew. It's a great big pen. There's tons of space. Niyama, I'm having to feed separately. It's been quite standoffish right now. But the barn's going to be a wonderful shelter for the does. It did dip to -12 this week. I've set up extra large crock pots for heated waterers because it's practical. If I can find good waterers for inexpensive, or if someone needs to sell them, I'll pick them up secondhand. But in the meantime, crock pots, I have them on hand and they're not expensive. That water was gifted to us for the chickens. It is wonderful. And over here we've got our registered goats. There's the couple who I need to transfer over in the spring. Captain's mother has an incredible udder. In my half year of milking, that is the most important thing, is that you find yourself some good udder genetics. I've been working with, I'd say 60 to 70% of my udders are first freshener udders, and they're just not easy. The more experienced girls, a little better. My goats, by and large, were pet goats. They were not used as dairy goats, which would have been a huge surprise to them. Our big open pasture out front, they can no longer graze it. The snow has covered everything. They're getting fed hay now. We got our trailer registered, so we are able to plan to take some goats show goating this summer. I'm so excited to have my kids groom and prepare for Christmas. You know, I'd like to get, I'm sorry, this is gonna sound awful, a disc budding iron and a shaver. And then maybe during New Year's, while we're waiting for some of the goats, the unregistered herd, it's okay. We're waiting for them to kid out. We can practice shaving udders. How fun would that be? I've got a 14-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. If we do this right, we'll have a long tail for doing fun things with goats. Okay, I'm just gonna take you guys, look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. I mean, I can cry that it's -12 Celsius here and that it's cold and that I have to go outside, but it's so beautiful. Everything looks clean. The whole fence line was not here last year. We built that this year. We cleaned up this field. We planted barley in the back had the world's most adorable little barley harvest, and ended up buying in a whole bunch of grain. Neighbors helped us amazingly with hay. It's just been amazing, and our chickens not laying a lot. I think they got cold. We got some wool, some free wool, long drive, but thank you, gentlemen. Central Alberta gave us a sweet hookup. We'll stuff the garage, make it nice and warm for my husband to work and my son and daughter to do their hockey shots. We have been insulating the barn, so when the does do start getting out, they've got a nice warm place to be. We registered our little trailer, and it has a license plate. We don't have to desperately beg friends and relations for help. We can actually be organized of our own volition, which is a real gift. It's so hard. You're dealing with livestock and you're trying to stay organized. We do have an appointment with a vet, and we'll talk to them about our herd planning. There was a couple of escape bucks, so that's why I have one girl who's going to be kidding out 2nd to 3rd week of December, and everybody else will be 4th week to 1st week of January. What are we talking about? I'm just trying to show off the winter, glorious winter. The last month I've been using almost every single drop of milk for making goat soap. My daughter will be able to sell goat soap at the Christmas craft fair under the Starling Acres banner, and I'm hoping she sells enough to pay for her Seattle band trip in the spring, because things are expensive in Canada. So we want our own meat, we want our own cheese, we want our own milk, heck, we want our own cream. And being on a primarily carnivore diet, that makes life beautifully simple. So how do I find the time to run the animals? Well, let's just put it this way. I'm incredibly lazy in the kitchen. I'll clean up after my husband, but he does most of the cooking, and he doesn't have to think too hard because it's going to be beef, butter, bacon, or eggs. People get very frustrated and talk about things like the mental load. It's like, well, it's going to be meat or eggs. You can say, well, what happens when you run out of meat? And I'm like, okay. That's what the goats are for, okay? They are our security, and the bottle calves are going to be doing that for us too. We thought maybe we would be breeding the holstein to a beef bull, but that's way too much milk. I would, from experience, say if you're going to have a full-sized holstein cow, you need a full-time person who's a high performer at home managing the milk, okay? But let's say they were all at peak production. If I was milking 12 goats, that would be close to what you would get from a holstein. More like what you get from a Jersey. Gallon a day is the best I've done so far. Gosh, this is 6 gallons a day. It's something absolutely amazing and ludicrous for when you have a holstein. They're bred to be maximum capacity milk animals. So that's not what we're for. On a dairy farm with cows, if the bull gets out, you need to catch the bull and keep everyone vulnerable far away and inside, and call your neighbors and warn them. If one of my little bucks got out, he probably wouldn't go very far, let's be honest. And yeah, it's the difference between annoying versus dangerous. So that's why dairy animals, for a family like mine, best small. Best for us is to have small dairy animals. We've been working hard this year. Since we've gotten to this property, we renovated the basement to make multiple bedrooms for the kids. We put in water. We sunk all the electrical lines, built all the pens that the goats are in now, and taken down old fencing. We took down a tree graveyard. If you look back on our shorts, you'll see my husband was taking down trees all spring this year. Took down 40 dead trees. It was wonderful. When we first came here, there was ticks in all the dead trees. And now the trees are down, the ticks are gone. We had a beautiful golden barley field. Yield wasn't good, but it was beautiful. And this year, feels threatening to do something like lemongrass or other essential oils in the mix, so we can control the kochia that likes to completely consume everything in the soil. Make some essential oils for soaps. I mean, what would be cooler than tallow rendered from your home cows, goat milk from your Nigerian dwarfs, and essential oils that you grew in your raised bed garden? I really can't think of anything much better than that. Right now I'm walking on provincial land. It is adjacent to our property. We have really good privacy where we're at. Three things. First thing, actually, would be I want to feel safe and independent, regardless of economic inflation, deflation, all the things that can happen external to the efforts that I am producing in the world. Second reason, my family. I was lucky enough to grow up with an old McDonald farm my grandparents had put together for us. I got to go visit horses. I got to go discover kittens in the barn. I got to help find chicken eggs, duck eggs. I got bit by a goose, okay? All these things. And my grandparents' farm was right by the CP rail. Just like ours. Yeah, I know I'm bragging, I should show. But there was a lot of good things that form my background brain architecture that I think are valuable. Kids are being raised in the city, and I went to the Calgary Zoo. I had passes, so I tried to take them once a week. I took them to Spark Center once a week. And the thing is that was special, and that was the most perfect alternative. But in the city we lived in my husband's school district, they were mandating everyone needed to put some experimental government substance into their body to be allowed to work. And so I was getting hired for the first time in a district with different rules, and he went along and said, yes, let's do that. So we kept our bodily autonomy. We were very lucky to do so. Third reason, why am I on the acreage, and why have I decided to go on level hard? And the thing is, everybody needs a hobby. Come on, let me know in the comments below, what's your hobby? I kind of like milking goats. I kind of like singing to my goats. And I kind of like doing something that is separate from my husband and children, sometimes. But it's a bit more of a tag team thing. And it's been wonderful, because I get a product out of these animals. They give me milk. They give me eggs. We got meat. These are gifts that I cannot overstate. Maybe there was a 30-year period where this is horribly unglamorous and silly and wasteful. I know the turning point when it became more expensive to make your own clothes than to buy them. But we've seen a swing when it comes to our food system. At least 50 cents an egg, $6 easy, more often. Okay, my whipping cream, yeah, on the carnivore diet, keep some bad habits. Whipping cream is $7 a liter. If we're replacing that with our goat milk, beautiful thing. But don't you have to pay to feed your animals? Yes, we were very lucky this year. Nigerian dwarves are really small. So even with quite the herd, they couldn't graze down all of our green land with the bottle cows. They were out there the whole summer. So this whole Hot Mess Express started in April. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 8 months before I started hay feeding full time. We don't usually have such a long growing season, but suppose we have another 8 months, okay? And say I need a large bale and a half of hay every month. It's like $150 to $300 a month to feed everyone. But I am replacing a liter of coffee cream every day with Nigerian dwarf milk. So that's $7. We're eating at least a dozen eggs, $14. The bottle calves will eventually feed us. And on the carnivore diet, we're eating about 3 pounds of ground beef a day. That's about $10 a pound right now. It's 30, so it's about $50 a day in food we're producing on our property. Okay, times that by 30. So we're getting close to $1,500 a month for counting everything. And we're gonna butcher our wethers too. I have one animal you could argue is wasteful on the farm, and that is our llama, Radagast. But he's here because we get coyotes, but we can't get dogs. Bad, bad, bad news. But a llama, it makes the most annoying sound to coyotes, and it scares them off. So for us, a guard llama living with our bottle calves and goats is a good solution. If you like to go on a walk with me today and want more content like this, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm really glad you're here. I'd love to get to know all of you, and I hope wherever you are in the world, you're enjoying the beauty God and nature have brought to you. Whether it's the wind or the rain or the hail go by or the snow comes a dumpling from the sky.